They'll probably say, where exactly are you going with this? I see you really trying to take it there. Old school flow, chew you out, ain't fair. Jordan pants don't...
Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy Zai. You already know what time it is, man. Let me just address the first video, but before I even get into that, man, shout out to all the people that support the channel. Shout out to all the people that have been buying the merch. I know Teespring hasn't really been the way that people want to go with it, so shout out to those who purchase it in person. And for the people that I've been looking for that have been asking me about certain merch, you already know who I am. You know my social media. Get at me and I'll get at you. But you know, shout out to those who've been supporting the channel. But for the people that just keep coming on here and you constantly have something to say, I respect it. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody's entitled to jump on social media and address things that they might find not so tasteful or not to their liking. There's a lot of people on social media that just have no life in general, so that's all they do is jump on social media and talk about the next person, because a lot of it is because they feel something inside that's just not right. You know, some people feel like they'll never measure up. It's like when you see people that see a bodybuilder and they'll be hating on him the whole time because they figure they're never going to get to that point. Oh, he has to be on steroids, he has to do this, he hasn't been training hard. And then you see multiple videos and people that pay attention to the cat and they know that this dude has put in a lot of work to get to the level of that level, you know, as far as physically being in shape. It takes a lot of focus to get to that level, but there's always going to be people that figure that he's taking a shortcut. But what they understand is, even the fools that are on roids, you still have to put in work. And the same way that I got this YouTube channel that may not be popping the way it used to, but at some point, if I want my channel, I have to continue to get on here and put out content. And a lot of it is the same as it was from when I first started, just talking. I'm not really on here doing reactions on this channel. That was another channel. I'm not really on here talking too much mess about dudes that don't deserve it. Every fool that I've got on got something, they're trash or there's something, you know what I mean? So I feel like I want to speak on them. There's a lot of guys that are trash that I've said nothing about. And it's funny how all the fools that proclaim to be solid and be this and this stand-up individuals, but yet you reference PCs and everybody else that are in bad standings when it comes to me. Oh, these fools said this, you believed it. Like, it's as sad as it is, you believe it. And a lot of it is because you're insecure as a person yourself. You want me to be humble, but I refuse. Why am I going to be humble? Humbleness will not put food on my plate. It will not take care of my children. It will not keep me in the place that I am. Humbleness will get you nowhere. When you're too humble, you don't strive no more. I'm always striving to get to the next level. If you choose to refrain from having that thought pattern and every day waking up trying to figure out how you gonna scrounge and get that next buck, and I'm the type like this, because I just lost one of my jobs, but luckily I had another backup that I was already getting paid for. So it's like, you know what I mean? But even with that, I'm still looking for that second and third job, because nowadays it's just not enough to sit on your ass and just, oh, I'm gonna do this and maybe I'll do a part-time over here. No. I'll do this and I'll do another full-time, because I'm constantly striving to be that person that my kids perceive to be as a king. And that's how I feel. My worth was never dictated by money. My worth was never dictated by fame. Was never dictated by notoriety. Yeah, when you're in prison and you're young, you want that reputation. I did a lot of stuff to get my reputation, and it is what it is. But since I'm no longer out there really living that life, it's like that reputation don't mean jack no more. Now it's like my kids looking at me like, hey, you know what, Dad? Even my olders, they may look and be like, oh, Dad was an asshole. But at some point, you don't want them to see that. You want them to be like, hey, you know, this guy's responsible. He's handling his business. He's taking care of brothers and sisters. Like, you see what I'm saying? That's the type of level that I'm on. There's different levels to it. And for the people that want me to humble myself, humble me. That's all I say. Like, humble me. You and nobody else will ever humble me, because I feel like I'm that guy. And it had nothing to do with streets and putting in work, because I did that. A lot of people do that. There's people that are no good that did that and still do it. but it don't mean nothing. At the end of the day, a reputation don't mean absolutely. It helps you get in a lot of different places. And don't get me wrong, like there's spots that I can go to just because of reputation and just because people have love for me. It may not always be like that. There's always going to be haters in the ranks. There's people that I deal with that I no longer deal with, just off the simple fact that I could tell just by the way they maneuver, there was something up about them that was going to either lead to a bad situation or I was just going to have to let them go. So I chose to let them go. I still got homies that get at me, younger homies that still want to see me win, and they ain't caring about if I make a rap video about the neighborhood. They just want to see me win. They see their older homie like, hey, you know what? And I don't even perceive my homies at that level like, oh yeah, little homie. I don't even do that. I'm saying it right now, but I don't even do that. When I go to my hood, it's just like I say what's up, giving their respect. I don't try to do too much and not going about my way, because at some point you have to do that. That's the only way to really show is to lead by example. A lot of my homies are doing good. They got professions, regardless of the street thing. They got professions, and hopefully little by little they lead more towards profession and less towards the street. I used to have a mentality like, you know what, I can't let the neighborhood die, but I don't really care. At the end of the day, it's like as long as my homies are still alive and doing well and ain't no black marks on us, I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's the difference when it comes down to it. It's the thought pattern. You gotta always think on that level, because if you refuse to think on that level, you always be stuck at a certain point in life, and it ain't gonna never get you nowhere. I could be thugging still, even at this age. I'm still feel like I could still get it, but what's it gonna do? At the end of the day, what are people gonna think? And not that I ever really cared about what people think, but what am I gonna think when I gotta look in the mirror every day and see the man that just couldn't excel, the man that just really wouldn't accept responsibility, the man that refused to take care of responsibilities? That's a coward's route. I'm not trying to do that. Like, so for the people that want me to be humble, you gotta make me humble. You know when I'm gonna be humble is when God snatched me and put me in a position to where I can no longer do nothing. You know what I mean? And that's when I'm resting. Other than that, I'm not gonna be humble. I'm gonna still get on here and I'm gonna tell it how it is. I'm gonna be me until I'm resting in, you know what I mean? It's just what it is. So that's all I can really say on that, man. For the people, like I said, that support me, already know it ain't about being cocky. It's just you don't have no faith in yourself. You don't have no trust in your ability to get to the next level. If you have no faith in yourself, what's the use of doing anything? What's the use of getting a freak out of bed if you don't have no faith that you're gonna be something greater than you were before you got up that month? You know what I'm saying? You have to constantly get on your job. YouTube may have been a hobby and probably still is a hobby, but if I could ink something out of it, what's the use of just having a channel and be like, oh yeah, you know, I got 26,000, almost 27,000 subscribers. So what? Even if I had 1 million, so what if I'm not getting no money out of it? There's a lot of, like I said in the prior video, a lot of fools I know for a fact you pay for your views, you pay for your subscribers, but what did it do for you? There's no way in hell you should have 2 million subscribers and you only getting 1,000 views. That's just weird. My channel, you expect it. As long as you get like 10% of your, but come on, 2 million, you get 1,000 views. That's not adding up, dude. Like, it's not adding up. But I'm not here to speak on your channel. I'm here to address the people that tell me to be humble, and I refuse to be humble. I'm never gonna be humble. And if I do get to the point, when I'm still breathing, if I'm still breathing, and if I get to a level that I'm happy with, not just living check by check or maybe just being able to do little things. No, when I'm able to wiggle, like if I drop 1,000 here and 1,000 here, it ain't gonna be nothing. When I got my 6'5" or my 6'6" or my 6'7", when I got that and I'm just skating and my family is good, that's when I'll be humble. Until then, what's the use of being humble? I'm gonna constantly be hungry. I'm constantly grinding. I'm constantly trying to snatch plates if you ain't trying to eat. Like, it's just what it is. And any man that really want to take care of his business should be thinking the same, man. Don't never give in. And if you got any sort of talent, play on it. What's the worst that can happen when people be talking about the rap thing? Oh, you think you're nah? I don't think nothing. I just think I'm not comparing myself. My worth is not dictated by anything. It's not. I don't compare myself to any great rappers. If that was the case, there'd be a lot of rappers that wouldn't be doing nothing. You ain't never gonna be Tupac. You ain't gonna never have the type of shine that Ice Cube had, or this fool had, or this fool had. You ain't gonna never. You gotta do it according to the way you do it. My raps might not be the hottest thing, but why not play with it? You know what I'm saying? Like, if a person told me right now, hey, look, boom, I got millions, I just need this many out, you think I won't do it? It's not about me, it's about my family. That's millions. You see what I'm saying? Like, as long as I ain't selling my soul and dealing with trash like some of these channels, then regardless of what comes out of this YouTube thing, I'm still winning at the end of the day, because I'm still gonna be alive and I'm still gonna be me, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. You gotta play to your strengths. You gotta play to your strengths, and my strong suit is just being Zod. And whether that pans out in the end is yet to be determined. But until then, I will continue to do what I do until I no longer want to be on YouTube. Till I no longer have the need to want to hustle. You know what I'm saying? Until then, I'm everything on this motherfucker except the stuff that you ain't supposed to sell. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's trying to go back to prison or any type of jail. I'm too old for that. So anyways, with that being said, I'm your boy Zod. And for the people that want to be humble if you want to. But you ain't never going to make me be humble. And to all my dogs and homies that I function with, don't never be humble. Boy, to them, you a king. You doing what you need to do. You the hardest thing out. Always have that mentality. If they don't like it, they ain't got to deal with it, because somebody will. With that being said, I'm your boy Zod, and I'm out.
Kneel before Zod!